Hello, everybody. Hello. Hiya. How is everybody? Is everyone all right? Hi, Kirsty. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. I'll start by saying that I've eaten some cheesecakes. I have had 2 days off plan. Today is my second. Good. So today's my second day off plan. I'm going to be back on it tomorrow, though. I've pretty much had enough of food. I've had my fill for now. So I'm all good again now. Hello. Oh, good. Is it nice? Is the weather nice over in Louisiana? I know Georgia had some storms, didn't they? Hiya, Marilyn. Yes, steroids are terrible for weight gain, aren't they? Hopefully, it will just keep going. It will come off and it will even itself out, hopefully. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Christine. Hello, Hummingbird. I can't remember what your name is. Sorry. I'm terrible with names. What I remember on Instagram and what I remember on the WW Connect is people's pictures. I don't know names, I just know pictures. So when people change their pictures, hi Tina, sorry. When people change their pictures on Instagram and on Connect, I don't know who they are. And then it has to register who they are. It's terrible. When we did the meet and eat, I was meeting people and I didn't know who people were because obviously I'm just used to their pictures. I'm very visual like that. I'm terrible when it comes to names. Hello, Jacqueline. Oh, that's good. At least you haven't got storms. I think Georgia had some really bad ones, didn't they? So I've had 2 days off plan. I did win some cheesecakes. I don't know if you've seen them. I have put them on Instagram, and I had to try them. I wasn't going to have some time off because I'm having next Sunday off because it's my birthday. But I won the cheesecakes and I wasn't going to say no to the cheesecakes. So I've had cheesecakes. Yesterday I had a McDonald's. They were I had my favourite one. They've done a Kinder Bueno one. And I had that earlier and it was just absolutely amazing. It was so good. Yeah, if it's steroids, expect a little bit of a gain. I would on steroids. I've not taken them myself, but I know plenty of people that have, and I would expect a gain with some steroids. So, but yeah, the Kinder Bueno one was absolutely amazing, and they're huge as well. They're really big. I've had out of 6, I've had 4. I had 2 yesterday and 2 today, and that's it. I really can't have any more. I'm going to give them away. I've got 2 more left, and I'm going to give them away. I'm not going to lie and say I haven't eaten them when I have, but they were absolutely lovely. They were so good. But yeah, so I had a McDonald's yesterday. Actually, I wasn't too bad yesterday. But that's only because I had my cheesecakes. I had one for breakfast when they arrived and then had one later on in the day. Then I had to get a taxi somewhere and I got really car sick. And I haven't been car sick since I was a kid. And then my partner was like, well, should we go and get a McDonald's? And I thought, no. And then I thought, yeah, actually I will. Because I'd already pointed the McDonald's because I wasn't going to have yesterday off. It was only when they messaged me to say I was getting my cheesecakes that I thought, yeah, I'm going to have the day off. But yes, so I'd already pointed my McDonald's. That was all fine. I know exactly how many points was in that. It was going to be 36, I think, for large fries, the mozzarella dippers and the quarter pounder with cheese. I think it's 36. So they're biscuits. They're just little biscuits. They're like caramelly biscuits. They're really, really nice. But yeah, and they do like biscuit spread. So the Biscoff one that I had yesterday, it's basically they crumbled some of the biscuits on the top, but they'd use the spread. So basically they just crush the biscuits down, and you can have it crunchy spread or smooth spread. Hiya, Sarah. So yeah, they were really nice. Thoroughly enjoyed my cheesecakes. But yeah, I've had my fill now. I've got 2 left. I think I'm gonna. Did say to my partner, does your mum like, because he doesn't like cheesecake, does your mum like cheesecake? And when I don't know, so I'll have to give her a ring, see if she wants some. I don't follow many weight loss people on YouTube, but that's purely because I don't want to start sort of doing what other people are doing. I want to do what I want to do. So I follow a lot of accounts on Instagram, a lot of weight loss accounts on there. It's all, if anyone follows me on Instagram and you're public and you post food and diet stuff, I'll follow you. But where YouTube's concerned, I don't want to start watching people, because then I'll start copying them a little bit, not on purpose, but I will. So I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, else I'll start like picking up what other people are doing. So yeah, someone says you do have them in the States apparently. So yeah, but don't buy it. Seriously, don't. It is really, really good. So, but yeah, had my fill of cheesecake, had my McDonald's, had a McDonald's this morning. Weirdly, when I weighed in today, I hadn't put any weight on. I have now, probably, because I've eaten some more. But yesterday it was really fine. So, the cheesecakes didn't have nutritional information on, Tina. So there were 0 smart points technically. They just didn't have any nutrition information. And when the box came, I was going to do an unboxing, like oh wow, but they'd used those freezer packs with the gel in, and one had just exploded everywhere. And I thought, I can't, there's no way I can do an unboxing of those, because it was just covered in this gel stuff. But yeah, there was no nutritional information on, so that's unfortunate. I don't even know if there's any on the site. So as far as I'm concerned, they were 0 smart points. But like I said, I had 2 yesterday and still weighed the same this morning as I did yesterday morning. So thank you. I think I started to watch a few, and then I thought no, because I don't want to start picking up what other people are doing. I want to tell people about my journey, and I want to help as many people with doing what I've done, rather than picking up what other people have done. Oh, I hope your husband gets better soon. It's totally understandable to start eating, Kathy, when you're under stress. I've stressed myself out the past like 4 weeks. I've stressed myself out about stuff I have absolutely no control over at all, and I've really stressed myself out. And my partner keeps going, why are you worrying? Just stop it. There's nothing you can do about it. Just stop it. But you just can't help it. And I've managed to stay on plan, but then that's because I like control. So yesterday, everything was sorted that I'd been worrying about. And me actually relaxing. Well, the cheesecakes didn't help, but it was like, well, I'm going to celebrate. I'm now stress-free because that stress is gone. So I feel a lot better. So stress-related eating is a major issue, but then I've managed. In fact, the worse something is, the more control I have over my food. Whereas if it's something really small and silly, I've binged before. Like I had a Tassimo before, and my Tassimo broke. I didn't even use Tassimos. I was making one for my partner, and it was like, that was it. Just started shoveling food in my mouth. It makes no sense. There is no rhyme or reason to why we do things sometimes. But obviously, if your husband's poorly in hospital, you're going to be under a huge amount of stress, and just give yourself a break. Try and start again tomorrow. If it doesn't go to plan, it doesn't go to plan. It's no big deal. It's a few days, and hopefully your husband gets better soon. Do daily weigh-ins, so from Kirsty, do daily weigh-ins affect my mood? I find they affect mine and might change my weekly weigh-ins. It's all dependent on the person. I know people that can't weigh in daily because if they see a gain, it affects their mood, it affects the way that they eat for the day. For me, I've been doing this an awful long time. I know that my weight is going to fluctuate and it's going to fluctuate by a huge amount. I mean, I can put £5 on in a day. The other day I put £7 on in a day, which is why I had the gain on Thursday, but that was hormonal. Totally know what that was now. So yeah, it's all dependent on the person. With me, it used to affect me a lot, but because I couldn't weigh in at my heaviest on my own scales, I didn't weigh in for an awful long time. And then after that, I quite like to know my fluctuations. Most of the time, I don't even remember what I weigh. I'll step on the scales, go, oh yeah, all right, and then step off again. It doesn't really matter what they are. And I only ever take my Thursday morning weigh-in as my actual weight. So if daily weigh-ins affect your mood and the way your day goes, don't do it. But then that's hard if you are compelled to do it. I'll do it multiple times a day. If you are compelled, it is really difficult to stop doing that. And there have been times where I've gone, do you know what, I'll just get rid of the scales. And then I go, no, it's only occasionally that I'll go, oh God, but then there's a reason for it. And I think sometimes it would affect me more if I weighed in weekly and had like a gain when I wasn't expecting it. Whereas because I weigh daily, I kind of expect it. So because I had that 2.8 pound gain the other day, I knew that was coming, but only purely because the day before I'd actually weighed the same as I had the last week. So I weighed 13.8 when I weighed in on Wednesday morning. Wednesday night, I'd put £7 on, which is unusual for me. Normally I'll put around 5 on. So I knew that when I stepped on those scales on Thursday morning that I was going to have a gain, purely because of what I weighed in that night. But then I didn't eat an awful lot on Wednesday, sorry. I had 31 points. I hadn't had a huge amount. I think a lot of my points I had on drinks that day. So it wasn't what I've eaten. It's nothing to do with that. It was literally, it was hormones. My weight just went, right, you're having that, and put it on. So, sorry, got a bit of a runny nose. So fighting a cold off as well. Stress, cold, hormones, weight gain. So that's literally what that is. So if daily weigh-ins do affect you, go to weekly. I know people that weekly weigh-ins affect them. So they've gone to 2 weekly, even monthly. So it's all dependent on the individual and what works for you. Hi, can I make it clear what questions you're answering? Sorry, will do. I'll try. I'm quite new to this. It's all quite new. Hi, Lorraine. Hope you're okay. So Jane has said, did you feel self-conscious going out or walking about before you lost weight? And how long did it take for you to not feel like that? It's weird because we literally, the only times that we would really go out is if I went to the shops. My partner didn't really come to the shops with me. If we went to the cinema, but we always went Friday afternoon, gold class, so the big seats, and there was no one really there. And occasionally we go out for a meal. At my biggest, I didn't really walk. I didn't really exercise while I was losing weight. We'd occasionally go for a walk, occasionally. As I lost weight, I'd sort of leave the car here and maybe go to the shops walking. But my back really hurt for quite a long time as I was losing weight because I weighed so much. So my back really hurt. So I didn't want to exercise. I didn't enjoy it and I didn't like it. So it was only sort of when I got to, it was more when I started WW that I started to, because I was around 23 stone then, so I'd lost a bit. So that's when I sort of started walking. So yeah, and I was still self-conscious. I've got pictures of me, and I think I was around a stone away from goal, and we went to Harry Potter World. Harry Potter World? Can't remember. Harry Potter Universe, whatever it is. We went there in London, and I was really self-conscious walking around, and I only had a stone left to lose, but I felt really, really self-conscious that day. And I can't put my finger on why. I think it might have been I still have no idea why, but I still felt really self-conscious when I had like a stone and a half left to go. Um, and even now, it depends what I wear. If I wear something that I'm not totally comfortable with, I'll still feel quite self-conscious. Purely because if my excess skin doesn't feel right and stuff, so I will wear something, and if I don't feel quite right, I'll change it. Because I'll sort of like glance and see, and like I'll see something that other people probably won't. My partner will go, "No, you look fine," but I'll think that I look bigger than I am, or that my excess skin's showing, or something like that. So even now, I feel quite self-conscious sometimes. Not all the time, but just sometimes. But that's why I tend to dress. I like the dresses that I wear because it covers that up, and I don't feel self-conscious when I'm wearing stuff like that because it covers me up. So but then if I felt comfortable, even like at 18, 19 stone, we'd go for a walk, and if I was wearing jeans and a long top, which I tended to wear anyway, I was absolutely fine. It's really strange. So even now, I sometimes feel quite self-conscious. Hi, Derry. I've had a day off plan as I've had my COVID jab yesterday, and I'm feeling really bad today. Oh, I hope you feel better soon. I know some people have had some really bad effects. I know somebody that said their COVID jab was worse than when they had COVID. So Rob has said, I found the BMI normal range too low for target weight. I was still 5 kilograms above it, and friend said I looked ill. Now I maintain at 8 kilograms above normal top limit. I am if I get down to the weight that I want to get to, so if I get to 12 stone, I don't know kilograms, sorry, I can't work them out. So if I get to 12 stone, I am just in the top of my BMI range. But 13 stone, which is my GP's goal weight that he set me, and the goal weight that I've got for WW, I'm way above. I'm like 11 pounds above my BMI. But then I've put an excess skin post on Instagram the other day, and I also took a picture the other day with jeans on where I've pulled my skin up, and I'm probably around a 10, size 8 to 10, without that excess skin. It's it's the way that it's just the way that it is, and it's just there. So that probably weighs quite a bit. So, but yeah, BMI, I don't go by that, and it's what you feel comfortable with. If I go under 12 stone, I look like a lollipop head. My neck goes really tiny, and my head looks huge. So if I go under there, I do look quite poorly. So it's what you feel comfortable with as well. I've had somebody ask me about goal weights before, and they've said, right, I've got to the goal that I had for WW, but I want to go a little bit lower. People know when you feel comfortable. When you get to your goal weight, you sort of know where you feel comfortable and where you want to sit. And I know my partner will say to me when I get to 12 stone, that's it now, that's enough. But it's only sort of when I get to there, he'll go, no, that's enough. Whereas I know some people have turned around to me when I got to like 14 stone and went, no, that's enough. And it's like, no, I don't feel like I'm there yet. So it is really, Kirsty, it is so difficult to stop daily weighing. I have mine on a board on my carpet in my hallway, and I literally, when I walk past, I'll go, oh, what do I weigh? What do I weigh? Go to the loo, step on them again. What do I weigh now? So that's what I'm like as well. Yeah, Marilyn likes to know daily what she weighs, so there's no surprise. It's weird because before it was like, oh, I'd daily weigh, and that could affect my mood. Previously, times that I've been on a weight loss journey, whereas this time I quite like to know where I am. It's really strange. Christine, if you have a day off, do you find you're really hungry the day you're back on track, and how do you manage it? I have the opposite. I actually, I normally, I can't say what it's going to be like tomorrow because just had 2 days off. But normally, if I have a day off, I don't tend to feel hungry the next day because I've sort of filled up the day before. But then that's because the foods that I tend to eat when I am off plan are things like bread and cheese, so they're quite filling, so it sort of keeps me ticking over the next day. So I don't feel hungry. But then saying that, first thing this morning I was up at 3 o'clock for some unknown reason. The cat woke me up. She wanted to get into bed for a cuddle, so I had to oblige. She wanted a little cuddle, so I was up at 3, and I was really hungry at 3 o'clock, but that's quite unusual. But then when I went back to sleep and woke up again at 7, I wasn't hungry then. So I think sometimes it's because I need a drink. But then when I have a day off plan, I get really dehydrated. Weirdly, the back of my head hurts, my jaw hurts, and I feel quite hungover. Don't feel that today, but I probably will feel that tomorrow. It'll be like a knock-on effect from today. So then again, I haven't really binged this time. Occasionally I'll go absolutely mad. Sometimes when I have a day off, I go absolutely mad, and it's what can I hoover in? Oh, what can I hoover in? Whereas the past 2 days haven't been like that. Like I said, I got quite car sick yesterday when I got in the back of a taxi, which is really unusual for me. So normally I would sort of have a few extra treats last night, but I didn't. I had some sweeties after my McDonald's, and I had a little bit of chocolate, but I didn't have a huge amount because I still felt a bit icky. Felt better after I had something to eat. I think it was the fact that I'd just had 2 cheesecakes and some toast all day, so that hadn't helped. So yeah. But if I was hungry, I would. So tomorrow will be my first day back on plan. I have no intention of using any weeklies. I will give myself 6 because when I have a day off, I give myself. I have 42 weeklies. I split them up and I give myself 6 a day. So I have 6 a day to play with just in case. I have no intention of using them tomorrow, but it's filling up on things like veg, chicken, it's protein. I just go high protein. So if I am hungry, it is vegetables, fruit, high protein. I will double protein up if I need to. But yeah, protein is the thing that fills me up. So I will double protein up for most of the day if I need to. That's what I'll do. Tomorrow I will have a cooked dinner, because quite a fancy one. And probably bread will be, even though I've had bread today, then again I might be bored of bread tomorrow. Really can't say what I'm going to have. I never know what I quite fancy. I'll say I'll have a cooked dinner, and then I'll probably end up with pasta or something. It's just about filling up. I mean, I did a chicken in passata with some onion and garlic the other day, and it was literally 3 smart points just for the chicken, but it was a huge portion. And even then I was umming and ahhing about whether to have pasta with it, because that would have been 3 points, but I could have doubled up on the chicken in that. So I had quite a lot of chicken breast and then snacked on that all day. So it's about finding things that are going to fill you up when you have a day off, especially if you're feeling hungry. So if I do have hungry days, which weirdly I tend to get like days where it's a bottomless pit and nothing will fill me up, it will literally be as much protein as I can get in and as much veg. But a lot of the time, nothing seems to fill me up on those days. It's really, really strange. Hi, Gavin, who is Sue. Remember that one for some weird reason. Can't remember people's names half the time, but I'm sure it's Sue, isn't it? Hello. Lorraine says, I weighed in on the 9th of February, and because I was so bad, I avoided the scales. Finally got on 3 weeks later and gained another 5 pounds, but have got back on track since last Thursday and I've weighed in every day. How's it going? Because what I can do is I can lose 5 pounds quite quickly if I get back on plan. So hopefully you've sort of managed to get back on plan and lost the majority of that. So hello, Rebecca. So hopefully that's a lot of that has gone. But yeah, I weigh daily, so I don't avoid the scales. I know exactly. I've stepped on them today. Yesterday I stepped on them, and weirdly I hadn't put that much on over the day, bearing in mind that I'd eaten 2 cheesecakes in jars. So I hadn't gained that much, strangely, and then it had gone by this morning. It was just really weird, whereas today my scales have shot up. So brilliant, well done. £7 down. See, a lot of it will be water weight, so I think we avoid the scales because we think it's going to be bad. When it's if we get on quicker, the gain will be gone reasonably quick, but I think we blow it up in our heads that it's going to be a lot worse than it actually is. So, hi Maria. You succumbed to the M&S chocolate hot cross buns today. They are good. I thought they were a little bit too chocolatey for me. Really strangely, I find sweet stuff is a little bit too sweet for me now. I think I've been on this an awful long time. And even though I do eat chocolate and stuff, I found those really, really quite sweet. Maybe because I toasted mine, could be. But yeah, they were nice, but I thought they were a little bit too sweet. You got some of the Tina's got some of the Aldi vanilla protein pots today. They are creamy. They are really, really good. They are so nice. Really miss the little ones, the little protein pots, because they were only 2 smart points each. I love them, but they've stopped doing them now. They've got another, they had Graham's, I think they were, for a little while, but they were a tiny bit higher in points, and now they've got their own make protein pots again, but they don't do a vanilla one. They do like mixed flavoured ones, and I only like the vanilla one because I like having it, because it's like having cream with it, because it's quite so creamy. For anyone in America, the protein pots, it's like quark, basically. So it's soft cheese mixed with yogurt. So yeah, that's really, really nice. You see, I'm really greedy, so I have the whole lot. Just chuck the whole lot in. So Bubble has asked, sorry to be rude, I don't mean to be, can the NHS remove your skin? The consultant won't even see me. The consultant won't even, the GPs wrote to him, he wrote back saying, no, it's cosmetic. Then he wrote to him again, and he wrote back, he didn't even write back that time. So no, they won't even see. It's classed as cosmetic, apparently. Yeah, Rob said they are so, I actually find them better than those Lindol ones. I think they're a lot thicker and a lot creamier. I find them really, really nice. Is it Rookshi? Can I ask, if you could go back in time and talk to your younger self, what age would you go back to, and what would you say and do differently? I wouldn't do anything differently. I wasn't ready to listen to anything anyone was saying. I really wasn't. It's only when you're ready. It really is only when you are ready to lose weight, and that's when it kicks in. I tried so many times before. I tried loads and loads of times. I tried Slimming World, I tried Rosemary Conley, I tried absolutely everything. I've tried WW before, but that was many, many years ago. Tried so many times, and it's just never stuck. And seriously, I think it's only when you're ready. It really is. You have to be in the right mindset. The right set of circumstances have to have happened. And yeah, so I really didn't listen to anybody. I really didn't. And the only reason that it's really stuck is stuff that my partner said to me about it's my choice and it's what I've done. And only I can make those choices. I choose to eat and I make those choices. That clicked in. And the fact that I'm so stubborn that before I wouldn't listen to what anyone said about maybe you need to lose weight. And I just flicked my stubbornness around to, I'm going to do this regardless, and I'm going to do it. And I've been really stuck and dug my heels in, and that's what's done it as well. It's my stubbornness. My partner said it was just the right set of circumstances, and the fact that I managed to build in those routine and habits, and that's what it is. Tomorrow I'll be back on plan because I've built in those routine and habits. I've been doing this for years and years and years, and I know the points in stuff. I know what I can have quickly. I know the foods that I can grab. I have my go-to stuff. So literally that's what it is, and that's what does it. It's because I've been doing it so long, I know the points, I know what I'm doing, and I can still have what I fancy, and that's what keeps me on track, and that's what keeps me going. So even tomorrow, even though I've had like some crisps today and I've had some chocolate, if I still fancy it tomorrow, even though I've had my fill over the past couple of days, I know I can still have that, and it's not off limits, and I don't have to go without, and that helps an awful lot. So yeah, when it comes to me, it's my stubbornness has helped me this time. But going back in time, I really wouldn't have listened. I can tell you that now. Really wouldn't have listened. So Sarah said, I had the day off yesterday. I found our local garage had the Planet Donuts on a Friday and it was yummy. It wasn't worth 27 points. I've had fish and chips too, and today I feel hungover. You do feel hungover. My friend said the same thing. She got to go on Slimming World. I think she lost about 3 or 4 stone. And she got to go on Slimming World. And then over lockdowns, she put a little bit on. I think she put about a stone on. So she's obviously, because we're coming out of it now, she said she's been on plan for about a month or so. So she's lost about £7, £8, £9, I think. And she had a day off and she said she felt really hungover. She had one glass of wine, so she said it wasn't that, but she felt really, really hungover. So you do, it is, and I mean, I don't drink, and I feel hungover when I've had a couple of days off, and it's the high sugar, high salt content that does it, and I just feel so I feel so ill. It's the dehydration. So tomorrow it will literally be. I normally drink. I've got 4 different water bottles, and I drink them in order. Have them in a certain order, so I know that I've drank them. I'm very strange like that. So I literally fill them up, put them in the fridge, and I drink them in order. I'll probably drink about 6 tomorrow instead of the 4 that I normally do. So, because I feel so hungover. But if the donut wasn't worth 27 points, you know for next time. So Marilyn says, basic question, how do you cook your chicken? Chicken, it depends. If it's a chicken breast, I will weigh it raw, wrap it in tin foil, chuck it in the oven. So that's where I get my points from for that. I'll do a roast chicken and put it as grilled. I'm really naughty like that. I'll roast it. I'll do a whole chicken and then I'll just take the breast off because I'm not messing around, and I'm not putting what roast chicken is in the app because I think it's ridiculous. So I'll do that as grilled chicken and weigh it. And I've done that throughout my journey. So it hasn't made any difference at all. But seriously, I'm not putting because I think they've only, if it's roast chicken, it's more points. And I'm sorry, no, it's not. It's fair enough it's got the skin on, but seriously, I'm taking the skin off. It's not soaked in that much fat that it's going to add like 2 or 3 points or however many points it is. So literally, it'll be a roast chicken, or I will wrap it in tin foil and chuck it in the oven. So it depends. Tomorrow, because I'm doing a chicken dinner and I haven't got a whole chicken, I've got chicken breast, so that'll be weighed raw, wrapped in tin foil and chucked in the oven, just like my apples and onions, but just without any liquid in. So yeah, that'll be raw weight tomorrow. And I know some people have asked me that. What do I? How do I know what I weigh? So do I weigh raw or cooked? It depends what it says on the nutrition information on the pack. It depends how I've cooked it. So if I did, like the other day, I did my chicken in passata, I weighed my chicken raw before I put it in. There's some other stuff that's cooked weight. So the new Heck chicken burgers that I had the other day, I know they've been around for a while, but I hadn't tried them. They're cooked weight. So it really does depend what it says on the nutritional information, what I'm cooking. If I do pasta and rice and stuff, it'll be dry weight because it's just me having it most of the time. Or if it is both of us, I will cook 2 different lots so I know which one's which. The new Aldi Light Slimwell chips, they're cooked weight because that's what it says on the nutrition information. So it is literally, I'll cook it as it says and then weigh it. So yeah, that's how I cook my chicken. Hello, Rebecca. Janice, I'm nearly 2 years into my journey and want to know how you manage to keep motivated. It's after a while, it stops being motivation. I mean, you've got the motivation of what you've lost, so you look back at pictures and stuff, so that kind of keeps you motivated a little bit, but it is literally routine and habit. After a while, I can't eat the way that I used to eat. I've had 2 days off, and I would my normal food before my weight loss journey was horrendous. I used to eat a hell of a lot of food, but I just can't do that now. So it's because I've been doing it for so long, it is literally routine and habit. Everything I do is routine and habit. I kind of know what the points are in foods, kind of know what I fancy for the day. So I know I've got 30 points. So I'll start the morning off with, right, what do I fancy for one of my meals? What's the main thing that I fancy? Or what have I got in the fridge and freezer that needs to be used up? That tends to be my motivation for what I'm having for my main meal. And then I'll build up everything else around it. So that's it's literally routine and habit. Tomorrow they'll kick in, so I will get my head down, go, right, I'm not having any more rubbish today, and my routine and habits will kick in. So I'll drink 4 litres of water, I'll do my daily yoga, drink my 4 litres of fluids, 2 litres of fluids, sorry, probably a little bit more tomorrow because I'll be quite dehydrated. And I see my points as money. That's what I've got to spend for the day. Once that's gone, it's gone. That's it. So I will sort of go, right, what am I going to have today? I'm going to have a milky drink. So what milk am I going to use for that? Right, I've got 30 points. So the likelihood is that I'm going to go lower points on my milky drink. So I'll probably have an almond milk latte for 2. Then it's like, right, so I've got some stewed plums that I need to use up. So I will definitely have a protein pot with that. So that's 3 points. That's 5 points down already before I've even started. I'm going to do a cooked dinner. So you're looking at around 10. So that's 15 points. So what do I want for the rest? So that's how I do it, and that keeps me motivated as well. I use it as a bit of a game, actually. It's my game for the day. How can I stick to my 30 points and get the most out of them? So it's like that keeps me motivated in a way, because I'm like, right, how much food can I get for my 30 points, and what nice stuff can I eat for my 30 points? And that sort of keeps me interested as well. So making it into a game, so childish, just love it. What can I do today to make it into a bit of a game? But yeah, it's literally my routine and habits. I know that I need to do my 30 minutes of exercise because I feel better when I've done yoga. I know that I need to drink plenty of fluids. And the rest is just I'm going to stick to points for the day. So it's literally, that's my routine and habits. Does anyone here sleepwalk and eat? I have. My partner turned around to me once and he said one night I was eating in my sleep, but I hadn't got up and slept walking out. I was just chewing on something, and he went, "What are you doing?" And I went, "I'm eating cheese." So I eat cheese in my sleep, but not actual cheese. But I have heard that is a thing, sleepwalking and eating. I have heard about it, but I haven't done it myself. I used to sleepwalk when I was a kid, but I haven't done it as an adult. So Jane, we used to call weigh you out on jelly weight as you didn't let it set. Quickly jelly weight as you didn't let it set. Yeah. So so when you've had a quick gain, it's quick off again. I think that's what you mean. I'm assuming that's what you mean. Rebecca, you asked me last week to let you know how the fasting goes. Lost £7 this week. Intermittent fasting, I kind of do it, but I don't do it on purpose. I tend to have a drink anyway, so I think that sort of breaks your fast, doesn't it? Unless you have clear fluids. I'm not entirely sure how it works. But brilliant, fantastic on £7. What's your food window for that? What's your timing windows for that intermittent fasting? Because I know some people do different ones, don't they? I don't tend to eat breakfast, but that's purely because I'm not really that hungry first thing in the morning. If I am hungry, I will eat. If not, I won't. So yeah, what's your timing window, Rebecca, for your intermittent fasting? Paul Power, it's off the naughty step. So you got on, brilliant. Hello, hope you're okay. She was having some problems getting on, because don't you have to have a channel to be able to comment? So glad you got on in the end, brilliant. So Marilyn said in the States there's no such thing as too sweet. She laughed at Paul Hollywood when he said USA's pies are so sickly. We love our sugar over here. I've been to America once. I went to New York and it was absolutely amazing. I would be absolutely huge if I lived in America. I've said to my partner I would. Also, I go into care homes. That's what I do. I work for the NHS and I go into care homes, and a lot of them have got like their menus scattered around. And I went into one the other day, and I got out the lift and I said to the girl at reception, I said, seriously, if I was a resident here, I'd be huge. They have like, this one had like 3-course meals for breakfast, lunch, and tea. And I was like, seriously, I would be massive in a care home. And she turned around and she went, during lockdown, I've put on 2 stone because they've been providing them with meals. She's been having 3-course meals sort of every day. Like they have like cooked breakfast, cereal, continental breakfast. Then they have like 3-course meal for lunch and a 3-course meal for tea. And she went, I've put 2 stone on through lockdown. So, but yeah, if I lived in the States, I just wouldn't be able to help myself. I'd just be like that. More food. I remember going to McDonald's and your drinks were huge. It was absolutely massive. Bubble said, I don't, but my friend did. She had to lock food in her cupboards in her car. She found, so your friend walked and she used to have to lock foods in her cupboard in the car. The more weight she lost, the less she did it. She doesn't do it anymore. I think, yeah, I have heard of people doing it before, and I think it's about, if you do it, it's about finding the strategies that stop you doing it. So, Rob's, you have to reach what bottom before you can understand what you need to do. So that's coming back to the question that someone asked earlier about if I could go back in time and talk to myself. You have to actually get to the point where you're ready to do it. And even at that weight, even getting up to that weight, I really wasn't ready until the set of circumstances work to help. Did you have off days planned? Did I have off-plan days whilst you were losing weight? I did. Initially, I didn't. I did Slimming World for 8 months and I didn't have a day off plan. I had one takeaway in that time and I sinned it. I think I went slightly over my sins that day, but I did sin it. So for 8 months, I stayed on plan. When I switched to WW, I didn't have a day off in between. So I went straight to WW. But I then introduced the foods because I cut everything out when I did Slimming World. So when I swapped over, I introduced all those foods back in. First week, I had a McDonald's breakfast, I had chocolate, I had crisps, and I lost about 6 pounds. So it is doable. And I think I stuck to plan for about a year and a half, 2 years before I had a day off. I was so focused, and what my partner had said to me about it's my choice. When I eat, it's my choice, and that really kicked in with me. So it's about, if I eat, it's because I choose to eat. So yeah, it really resonated with me. But the problem then was when I had a day off after sort of such a long time eating, being on plan, I was really worried that I wouldn't get back on it. So I think I might have had, could have been a Christmas or a birthday was the first off plan day, had it off and straight back on it again. But then that was because I'd purely been so, everything was so ingrained by then. I've been doing it for so long that when I had the day off plan, I got straight back on it. As I got closer to goal, I did ease off a little bit more, so I'd have a few extra off plan days, but not a huge amount. So I would have my birthday off. I had Christmas off. I think for the first like 2 or 3 Christmases, first 2 Christmases I stuck to plan. So with the Slimming World Christmas, I stuck to plan, and then when I switched to WW, I had a on plan Christmas on WW. Then the third one, I had an off plan Christmas. So yeah, it's I was worried that I wouldn't get back on it, but I did have off plan days when I was losing, but I stuck to it quite rigidly to start off with. Then I sort of eased up on myself, and as it's gone on. But for me, it was about learning about myself and why I eat the way that I do. And when I have an off-plan day, what I'm going to do and how I'm going to get back on it. If I feel like binging, what am I going to do and how am I going to deal with that? So it's all about learning about yourself and the reasons that you do the things you do to try and put strategies in place to try and combat that. So I've said it before, when I had, not the last year, just before the Christmas before, I had a little bit of a problem with binge eating. It started to creep in again, and I hadn't done it for a long time, but it started to creep in a little bit. So I just I had to take a step back and go, right, why am I doing this, and what are the reasons for me for doing this? And it was because I was holding out for so long. The binge eating was trying to creep back in. I was holding out and going, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. And then I'd binge eat. So what the strategy that I then put in place was, right, I'm going to try and hold out for a day or two. If I still get the urge to binge eat, because sometimes I don't, sometimes it's just that day, I'm having a bad day and I want to eat. The next day I'm fine. I'm having a good day and it's gone. Whereas sometimes it'll be consecutive days and it's building up and up and up. So the stress that I'm going through, or what's going on in my life, is causing me to want to eat. So I need to then look at what I'm doing to stop it. So what I do is, if it gets to like a few days and it's still there, and I'm still coming downstairs and I'm still grabbing a bar of chocolate and then putting it down and picking it up and putting it down, I'll go, do you know what, I'm going to have a day off plan. I'm going to relax. I'm going to eat the foods that I've been craving. So rather than binge eat and stuffing a load of rubbish in that I can't taste and that I'm not going to register that I'm eating, I'll go, right, I'm going to have a day off plan. I'm going to relax. I'm going to eat those foods that I've been craving for a couple of weeks, and then I'm going to get back on it tomorrow. And that cut that out. That stopped me doing that. And it's just about, it's about thinking about why you're doing it and the reasons why you want to stop doing it. So that worked for me. I'm not going to say it's going to work for everybody, but that's what's helped me, and it's about evolving as I've gone on throughout my journey. So that was even when I was at goal. I still have to think about why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, and why habits have started to creep back in. The bad habits have started to creep in, or what's going on that makes me want to do that. So sorry, my cat's decided to come and use her scratch post. So I've said in the past that I don't have children. Was it a choice related to you? No, I just don't. I'm not very maternal. I'm going to say that. I just never wanted children. It's not for me. It's not what I want. So yeah, it's nothing to do with rate related. I've never tried to have children. It's just not something that I've ever wanted. So yeah, that's it. All I can say. It's just not something that I've ever wanted. So Jill said, did you have off-plan days while you were losing? I've answered that. Sarah does the same with chicken. Yeah, if it's chicken breast, I'm weighing it as grilled. So Myra says, does your partner eat the same things that you do, or do you two? We've always really eaten different things. Me and my partner, even when I was overweight, he likes certain types of food and I like certain types of food. We will have some things together, like if I do a cooked dinner, we'll both have chicken, whereas occasionally I'll have pork, but he doesn't like pork, so he'll have lamb. So we do eat sort of different foods, and we always have. We will have some things the same, but a lot of the time it will be different, and it's what he fancies. So I'll ask him throughout the day, what do you want? And he thinks it's odd that I just literally think about food all the time, because he doesn't. So I'll ask him in the morning, what do you want for tea? And he'll go, I don't know. So then I'll just end up cooking him whatever I want to cook him, because it's just easier. So yeah, we don't always eat the same foods. If I've cooked dinner, the likelihood is he's having one, but there are times when I'll have one and he doesn't want one, and vice versa. He'll say I want to cook dinner and I won't want one. So but we've always been like that. Even when I was at my biggest, we would have different meals a lot of the time. So Christine says, what are the least your points have gone down to? It depends what plan I'm on. Obviously, the least points that I'm on at the moment, because I'm on the green plan, is 30 points. The least that I was on when I was on the blue plan, which was flex, because I had to do it because they swapped over, was 23. and I switched to no count. So basically I had no daily points at all, and I just had my weeklies on that. So yeah, it depends what plan I'm on. At the moment, the least that I get is 30 on green, but that's the same with everyone. The least everyone gets is 30 points on green. So Jane says, yeah, you put it on quickly and take it off quickly. So that's what the jelly set was. So Margaret, yeah, you do. You can put it on quickly, but then I've had times where I've put it on really quick and it just doesn't come off. I put £6 on for no reason the other week, and it took me blooming ages to get it off. I think it's just the way that your body works. I think I hit plateaus still, and my body just goes, no, I'm not going to lose it, I'm not going to lose it, and then all of a sudden it'll lose it. It's really strange. There is no rhyme or reason sometimes to weight loss. So Margaret, how hard do you find it to get back on track after a day off, and do you really have anything regardless of the points? When I have a day off plan, I eat what I fancy. I just literally eat whatever I want. Sorry, I've got a really itchy nose for some reason. Yeah, I literally eat whatever I want. I don't point it. I might know the points in it, like I had a McDonald's yesterday and I knew the points in that. I had a McDonald's breakfast this morning, so I've had 2 McDonald's in 2 days, and I know the points in that. So I know the points in some things but not others. So yeah, it's if I have a day off, I have a day off. And I don't know how many points were in the cheesecakes that I ate because there was no nutritional information on them, so I have no idea. But yeah, so I have I don't bother pointing when I'm on a day off. And get back on track. It depends. Most of the time, I feel quite poorly after a couple of days off. One day off, not so much, but a couple of days off, I feel a bit hungover, and I actually crave fruit and veg, which is really odd because I never did that before. Never really ate fruit at all. I had the odd banana, didn't eat apples, didn't eat mango, didn't eat fruit a lot anyway. Veg I did, but not a huge amount, and I didn't have veg every day either. So when I have a day off now, I quite crave fruit and veg. It's really strange, and I really, really want it. So I don't have a bad time getting back on it. But then saying that, not last Christmas, the Christmas before, just after I got after the binge eating problem, I weirdly had 8 days off plan over 10 at Christmas. I just sort of couldn't get back into it for some reason. And then Boxing Day came and I was going to have that off plan, and I got back on it. I suddenly went, no, I can't do this anymore. I feel really, really bad. Got back on it on the Boxing Day and then had a good run. So yeah, sometimes that's the only time that I found it really quite difficult to sort, and it just kept going. So but yeah, that's the only time that I found it really quite difficult. But then I got to the point where I did feel really, really bad and was like, no, I really need to get back on it now. And it just sort of took then. But yeah, that's the only kind of time. Normally, because I've got my routine and habits set, I find it quite easy to get back into it because I've been doing it for so long. It just sort of, I just do it. I think I'll just go, right, I've had enough now, and just get back on it. So yeah, and I will go and pick up, like sometimes I'll have the day off and then get back on it, and then I'll go and pick something up, like some chocolate, and go, oh, shall I eat that? And then I'll go, no, I ate chocolate yesterday, I don't need it today. I can have something later if I've got some points left. So it's just about kicking myself up the bum, basically, and going, no, you don't need it. You've had your day off, you've had your fill, you should have eaten it yesterday. You didn't, so you obviously didn't want it that much, so you don't need it now. So Rebecca, between last meal and night, so I asked Rebecca, she's doing intermittent fasting at the moment. She lost £7 in a week. So between the last meal at night and the next meal, roughly 18 to 20 hours fast, which sounds low, but it's been fine because most of it I'm asleep. So yeah, so you're fasting for 18 hours, and then that's your window for eating. So my cat's sneezing now. She's joining in. Marilyn, your comment was restricted, so you obviously put something naughty. No, you didn't. I don't know why it chooses to restrict some things and not others. Very strange. So if you want to write it again. So Rookshy, I recommend eye track bites in the past. You were right. It's a pain in the bum, and I really joined WW yesterday as I gained £4. I've looked at eye track bites, and the problem is that it's a US app. So the UK foods aren't really in it. You can scan UK foods and they do come up. But I've looked at it myself and it is such a pain because the UK foods aren't in there. I have thought, because it's more like things like McDonald's, but then it's the fact that I'm going to have to put the nutrition information in myself. So, and that's the difference. So yeah, I have looked at eye track bites because it has got all plans on it. It's got the green, it's got the blue, it's got the purple, and it's even got the old Pro Points, I think. But it's an American one, so when you put foods in, it's American stuff that comes up, so it's quite difficult to swap over. So yeah, and I did say that to you. I said it's going to be, I said I've looked at it and it's going to be a pain in the bum for me. So yeah, Kirsty, I'm struggling so much to lose my last few pounds and I'm feeling really demotivated. I also feel apprehensive about when I get to goal, as I've always had this weight loss to focus on. It took me 6 months to lose a stone to get to goal, and it was slow going, but I know, sorry, my cat's crying now. Hello. So it took me 6 months to get to lose that last stone, and it was absolutely awful. It just would not shift. I'd like lose a little bit, then I'd gain a little bit, then I'd lose a little bit, then I'd gain a little bit. And it does come off in the end, but you need to think about it as getting ready to maintain. And I know it's really hard to think about, but it's try and get it in your head that you're getting ready to maintain. So I started to like try different foods. I still used all my weeklies, all of my dailies, and I could have dropped points, but I refuse to drop points. I just won't do it because that's what makes this livable. That's what makes this a lifestyle change. So I will not drop my points down. I've had a game this week and I had a couple of people say, well, maybe drop your points. It's never going to happen. This week it's hormonal. That's why I've put weight on. If I drop points, I'd rather maintain on the points that I've got than drop points, because that's what makes this livable for me. That's what makes this a lifestyle change. Without those weeklies, I would go off plan. I'd go stuff this. I'm going to go and eat that, stuff this, and go. That's what makes it livable. Having those points to look forward to and having that treat is what makes it livable. So if I maintain on the points that I've got, that's absolutely fine. But the last little bit is the worst. But I think the more you stress about it, and I know it's really difficult not to stress about it because that's all that you're thinking about, the worse it is, because you're stressing, your body, you just tense up. And I'm sure that makes a difference because I'm sure it did with me. So it's about trying to relax, still enjoy what you're eating. Try not to worry about the fact that they're not moving, because you need to get ready to maintain now anyway. You're getting to, like you said, you're worried about getting to goal because you haven't got that. And maintenance is very different because you haven't got that goal to get to. It is quite difficult and it is very different. But you do, when you get to goal, you do get your extra points. You go into the app and you switch to healthy habits. And a lot of people sort of start at 3 extra points a day, so you get a few extra points to play with, and you're getting to know what the best points are to have, the extra points. So you do get points to maintain with, and you get to goal. You're at goal, and I know that your motivation at the moment, you are demotivated because it's not shifting, but it will shift. The scales do go in the end, but depending on how much you've lost, it does. I think your body sometimes just goes, that's it, I need time to see what's going on, I need time to settle, and then all of a sudden the scales will move. But yeah, the scales will shift. But like I said, it took me took me 6 months to lose a stone. And then previous to that, so that was, I think WW switched the plans over in November, so it took me from November to April to lose a stone, so it's 4 or 5 months. But then I'd been maintaining before then anyway. The summer just before that, so a few months before, I'd been stuck for 3 months at a plateau. So I plateaued quite a lot throughout my last sort of bit. So it did take me an awful long time to get to goal, because it just wouldn't shift, and then I'd lose a little bit and then I'd gain a little bit, and I think I was stressing, so that didn't help. But yeah, the scales will move, and don't panic about when you get to goal, because it is different, because you haven't got the focus of losing weight, but it's just about finding what's right for you, finding the amount of points that you need a day that are right for you, and just try not to stress about it all, because maintaining is maintaining your healthy lifestyle then. So it is a lifestyle change, and it's about learning what you like and what you don't like, and enjoying your food. I enjoy what I eat, so I don't find it that I need to go off plan a huge amount of time, because I do enjoy what I eat and incorporate the foods that I really like and enjoy. So I try not to go off plan, because I'm eating foods that I enjoy. I've had weeks recently where I've really enjoyed the food that I've eaten, and then other times I'm like really boring and I'll eat the same thing, but then I enjoy that as well. So I'm really strange sometimes like that. But yeah, I know it's difficult. You've done really well, and just keep at it. The scales will shift in the end, I do promise you that. They will go, and then all of a sudden you'll lose like a bit. I got to goal, and then all of a sudden I just I gained, weirdly I gained a bit. I gained like 5-6 pounds, but then I did join the gym, so that didn't help, because I must have gained because I joined the gym, so obviously you gain a little bit of fluid and stuff. Then I lost loads. I got down to my lowest weight, then I lost like a stone reasonably quickly. It's really weird. So I think because of the stress of getting to goal, and I'd stressed quite a lot, and then when I got to goal I had a little bit of a gain, so I was stressing about that and trying to get it off, and then all of a sudden I just lost a load. So it's really strange what happens. Bodies are very odd things, but it's a lifestyle change, and it's about just getting used to that. Julie, do you know what the lowest weeklies on Blue is, please? No, lowest weeklies. Your weeklies are the same on everything. So I think the lowest your weeklies go to that I've heard is 21, but that's if you're really short and if you are really slight. So I think the lowest they go to is 21. Don't quote me on that though. But it does depend on your height, your weight and your age. So yeah, I think the lowest they go to is 21. I haven't heard any lower than that. Then again, if I heard 14, no, I think it's sure it's 21. But if you want to check what your points will be at your goal weight, you can sort of go into the app, put your goal weight in as what you weigh now, and see what it says. See what your weekly points are. It's a bit of a cheeky way of doing it, but I didn't do that. I was like, so if I get to my goal weight, what are my weeklies going to be? So yeah, I have done that before, because when I get to like 12, when I get to about 12.7, my points drop to 35. But then I go into healthy habits then and put them back up to 42, because I ain't going at 35 points, because I don't lose weight at 35 either. So I've gone weeks before at 35 points and not lost anything. So I just whack them back up to 42. So I'm a bit cheeky like that. So yeah, I think the lowest they go to is 21. I have got 14 in the back of my head, but like I said, if you go into the app and put that you weigh your goal weight now, because you can delete it anyway, it will tell you how many points you get. It's just a cheeky way of doing it. Judy, what was one of the new cheesecakes you won? Are they nice? Was that one of the new cheesecakes? Yes, I've had a few of those cheesecakes now. I had 6. I had 2 yesterday and I've eaten 2 today, and the other 2 are going to whoever wants them, like his mum, my partner's mum, or somebody else. because I can't eat anymore. I'm stuffed, and I can't have another day off planned just to eat 2 cheesecakes. It's not going to happen. They are really, really nice though. I've eaten, I had the biscotti one, I had the chocolate one. The chocolate one was amazing as well. My favourite was the Kinder Bueno one. That was really, really nice. And the Battenberg one was nice as well. So all of them are nice. And like I said, I've got 2 left. I would eat them because they are absolutely lovely. But I've had my fill of cheesecake. I literally can't eat anymore. So the cheesecakes were really, really nice. Dawn, I really want to get back on track, but I just can't seem to do it consistently. Only a day here and there or for a week. Have you any tips or suggestions? It's with me, it's just about doing it for long enough to embed your habits. And the only thing that's worked for me previously, and it's not going to work for everybody, is, sorry, she's being a bit noisy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the only thing that's worked for me before is clearing my house out. It's the only thing that's ever worked. When I did Simi World to start off with, I literally cleared my house out of everything. And I didn't buy anything. I'd stand in shops in front of chocolate and cakes and biscuits and look at them for ages, and then I'd just walk away. I'd have to have an argument with myself and walk away. So that's the only thing that's ever worked for me, is just going no and walking away, and clearing everything out. It's really difficult, but like I said, that's the only thing that's ever done it for me. Before, I would have treats in the house and I would eat them, or I'd have a treat day on weighing day, and that's never worked as well, because I've always, it's still calories that I'm eating even if I'm having a treat day, so I had to stop doing that as well. So it's just about being consistent with me and about using all my points, making sure I use them all, enjoy it, and that's what works for me. I enjoy what I'm eating, so that makes a huge difference. But yeah, that's the only thing, was clearing everything out. It's difficult, but it is doable. Oh, sorry, Bob, if I've missed you. Goodbye. Thank you. Right, Rob's put that he's had to go, but thank you very much for coming. Hopefully you're rewatching. Bye. I missed your comment. So, Marilyn, I've asked good questions. Some have asked and you answered. I'm not being naughty now. Janice, when you get to your goal weight, will you continue to monitor what you eat under WW? I'm at my goal weight. I'm at 13 stone, but I do want to get lower. I've said it before loads of times, so I do want to get to around 12. I'll always be on WW, always. And I think someone mentioned about the iTrack Bites app, and I have looked at that, but it is literally just WW, but on an app. So, but I will always, yeah, I'll always do WW. I like it. It fits around my lifestyle. I like what I eat, and I enjoy what I eat. So I'm always going to be doing it, unless I find something that takes my fancy. But no, I've built my habits and routines around WW, and it gives me the freedom to eat what I want. I need that control. I like to weigh stuff and I like to be in control, so I do like to follow WW. I know quite a few people that have left, and some people are maintaining absolutely fine after leaving, but then others do come back because it doesn't. Some people, I like the control. I like to be in control. I like to know what I'm eating. I like to weigh everything, and I like to know where I am. It gives me control over what I eat, and it just keeps me. That's what keeps me in check as well. So I like it. So yeah, when it comes to that, I will always be doing WW. But yeah, I know some people have said about calorie counting, and I did try it once, and I found it the most tedious thing I've ever done, because I don't track 0 pointed foods on WW. When I go onto the app, when I put in foods, I literally only put the foods in that I know are pointed. So if I have a roast dinner, I don't point the apples and onions that I do. I don't put that in the app. I don't put the veg in the app. I literally put the chicken stuffing, gravy and Yorkshire pudding, which takes me no time at all because I know what I'm going to be having and I'll already put that in the app. I know kind of what it's going to weigh, but then I'll weigh it out and make sure it's what it's supposed to weigh, and that's what I do. So it saves me time, whereas with calorie counting, I was having to put everything in. It was such a pain in the bum. So yeah, when it comes to that, I will always do WW. Marilyn, I'm £14 off goal, and what you just described is happening to me, but I will get here. It's those last few pounds. Some people can sail through and lose consistently every week, and that's brilliant. But mine was, I've had months where 3 months at a time, and it's happened like 2 or 3 times where I've literally, my weight's gone up and down the same few pounds for months and months and months and months. Then all of a sudden it'll shift and I'll lose loads of weight. And people have said, what do you do to get out of a plateau? I cannot tell you what I've done to get out of a plateau. I can tell you what I did that week. I've had a cheat meal before. That's sometimes worked, sometimes it hasn't. I've tried switching my food around. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does. I don't think it makes any difference. I really don't. I think sometimes your body just goes, I'm going to stay here. Then all of a sudden it'll go, right, I'll lose weight for you. It's the oddest thing, and it can be a multitude of things. Hormones are terrible. At the moment, I will have a week where I gain, then I'll probably gain again the next week, and it's hormonal. Then I'll lose a little bit, then I'll gain, then I'll lose quite a lot, then I'll lose quite a lot more, then I'll gain again. But I think that's just my age. I think I'm 42 this year, and I think I'm just getting to that age where my body just is going to do what it's going to do. But as long as I'm maintaining around 13 stone, I'm fine with that. I'd like to get to 12 stone, but the likelihood is that I may not ever do that again. But I'd like to try and get there. I can sit around 12.7 fine. At the moment, I'm slightly above where I want to be, but it's fine. I'll get, as long as I'm maintaining around 13 kind of stone, I'm absolutely fine with that. But I now know that it will take time for me to lose weight because of what's going on, and the fact that I will gain for 2 weeks and then I'll lose. This week I gained 2.8. Last week I gained 0.8. But the week before that I lost, I think it was 2.8. And the week before that I lost 4.2. So I lost £7 in 2 weeks, a couple of weeks ago, doing exactly the same as what I did last week. And I still gained weight. So there is no rhyme or reason. You've just got to be consistent and carry on. And it's really difficult. So if you're digital only, do you still get the gold membership when you reach goal? You get gold membership, but you pay, I think you continue to pay the full digital price. Whereas if you are digital and weigh-ins and you get to goal, what you pay drops down to about £6.95, £7 a month. Whereas if you're digital only, you'll continue to pay however much it is you're paying now. I don't know, I've never done digital only, I've done workshops and thingy, so you'll have to have a chat with one of the online coaches and see what they say. But yeah, if you get gold membership but you continue to pay the price that you're paying now, so your best bet is carry on with digital, then when you're a few pound away from your goal weight, switch to both, and then you get gold membership and your finger goes down to £6 a month. Win-win. I'm so sneaky. Hiya Shelley, do you ever incorporate fasting into the plan like the 16-8? I tend to do slightly intermittent fasting purely because I don't tend to eat breakfast. So my cat's at it again. So I don't tend to eat breakfast. If I'm hungry, I will, but because I'm not normally hungry, I don't tend to. I'll probably have like a milky coffee or some fruit, but so that sort of breaks my fast. But I tend to kind of do an intermittent fasting, but I don't do it on purpose. If I am hungry, I will eat. If I'm not, I won't. The other morning I was quite hungry, strangely, so I had something to eat. So yeah, it's one of those. But I've thought about it, but then I kind of do it anyway. So Kirsty, have you found people treat you differently since you've lost so much weight? I've lost 4.5 stone. Brilliant. Well done. And certain people make remarks. I look like I've lost too much. And I'm well within my healthy BMI. I got to around 15 stone. Now, bear in mind, I was 15 stone. So I was still like, according to my BMI, that's like 3 stone. 12. Yeah, 3 stone overweight still, according to BMI. Now, I'm not at my ideal BMI, and I'm never going to, well, technically I am. If my excess skin was gone, I'd be in healthy BMI range. But I got to 15 stone, and I had people at work, my previous work, saying, oh, you've lost enough now. You've done it. And I was thinking, I'm 15 stone. I'm still like a size 16. So, no, I thought I'd get to about a 14 and I'd be fine. And I did get to a 14 and I was fine, but I found that I could lose a little bit more. And that was fine. And even my partner said, oh, you get down to a size 14 and then stop. You'll be all right. And even he didn't say anything when I kept on going. He only says, look, you're losing a little bit too much when I get to 12 stone. But then I know that I've lost a little bit too much then, because I start, like I said, my neck gets really thin and I start looking a little bit bobbleheaded. I've got a picture of me having a massive pizza burger thing. It's absolutely amazing. The place is shut now. But even I look at that picture and go, do you know what? I went too far there. I was like, I think I got down to about 11 stone 12. And even I look at that picture and go, no, that was far too far. My face is the last bit to go, and I looked ill. I already admit I did look ill then. So, but at 15 stone, people were going, no, that's enough. And I was like, no. So if you feel comfortable with what you lost, and you've done absolutely amazing, and you feel fine, and you feel well, and you can look at pictures and go, actually, I think I look okay, then no one else matters. It's entirely up to you. I don't get that now. Nobody says to me now. They did when I got to like 15 stone. They were going, oh, you've lost too much. But I've been sort of this weight for nearly 3 years now, and no one says anything anymore. No one said, oh, you've lost too much anymore. They did when I got to there, and as I lost a little bit more, but no one says anything now. I think it's because they're not used to seeing you like that. So that's where the comments come from, and they think that they're being nice and helping, but they're not. But then once they're used to you at that way, they won't say anything. It's really strange. So yeah, just don't pay any attention. Well done, you've done absolutely brilliantly. Yeah, the cheesecakes are from Liverpool. So, and they were amazing. So, but try and avoid them because they're not very good. Although they are 0 smart points, because there's no nutrition information on them, so they're 0 smart points. So Maria says, since I've lost weight, 10 stone. Oh, brilliant. That's fantastic. Well done. I find I've even I'm not even noticed anymore. People always seem to stare at me before. And your GP is very supportive and always says, well done. My GP was exactly the same. I'm exactly the same as you. People used to look at me before. And I know people used to look at me before. And you probably did as well. They probably weren't looking at me as much as I thought they were looking at me. But I know people were looking at me before. And now I just go unnoticed. Yeah. And I quite like that. I like that. And anonymity. I like that. It's really, I quite like it. Whereas before I did feel that people were looking at me. So, yeah. And my GP is really supportive as well. When I went to see, because I didn't go to the GP much, my blood pressure went down a bit. So I sort of just stopped taking the meds anyway. I'm a bit naughty like that. And I sort of didn't go to the GP for absolutely ages. So I lost loads of weight. And then when I went, I think the first time I went in, bearing in mind the last time he'd seen me, I was like 31 stone, 1 pound and pounds. When I went in to see him the next time, he just sat staring at me for like 5 minutes with his mouth open. He was like, oh my God. He was like, what's? And I went, oh, I just did some Word and Weight Watchers and I've lost this much weight. And he was like that. So yeah, he was absolutely stunned. But yeah, it's really nice to have a GP that's really supportive and helpful. And mine is. He has written about my excess skin, but they just weren't paying any attention. So he's tried his hardest. I should be a Weight Watcher. Someone said you should be a Weight Watcher ambassador. I don't think I'm what they're looking for. I think we've got to the point now where I am not what Weight Watchers looking for. I don't think I've my face very fits that well where Weight Watchers is concerned. So, Kirsty, such good advice again, Sarah. Thank you. Loved your Q&A tonight. Thank you very much. I think that's it for tonight. I will pop another one on probably for next Sunday, about 7 o'clock, if that's okay with everybody. Might pop one on the week because I've got annual leave and I might be a bit bored. So if anyone's available in the week, I could probably do sort of I might put one on in the week if I'm bored because I've got annual leave and I need to answer some questions. So I might just do it as a live, but answer the questions that people gave me previously because I haven't answered some of those ones. So I'll probably do that in the week at some point, and I might do that as a live just because. And then I will do Sunday evening. Oh no, I won't. It's my birthday. I won't be doing Sunday. I'll do Monday. Will Monday be okay? Because that's bank holiday. Yeah, it is my birthday. I just remembered. I do this all the time. I book visits in when I'm on annual leave. I'm that bad. I'm like, yeah, I'll come and see you, and then I think, no, I won't because I'm not here. Yeah, I will think about it and book it in. It will either be Saturday or Monday. I'll decide then, and I'll probably do the one in the week just to answer the questions, and I'll probably do that as a live. Just because I like the interaction. I think that's really nice because I think you're all great. Thank you for turning up. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a lovely week. Take care and look after yourselves. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, Saturday or Sunday would be great. Yeah, bye-bye.